Welcome to Baz Travels. After driving 14,826 kilometers through 24 states and Washington, D.C., I've seen rocket launches to the Grand Canyon and Hoover Dam. I've explored Route 66, ghost towns, deserts, snow, and beaches on both coasts. From Vegas casinos to Alcatraz, the White House to Hollywood. Join me for a journey of the ordinary and the extraordinary.
Loading destination. Simulation starting in 3, 2, 1. To look around, move your phone or tablet. Click and drag if on a computer or move your head if using a VR headset. Please like and subscribe.
This area works because it brings together two completely different systems and places them side by side without conflict. On one side you have an open park space with trees, paths, and public access. On the other you have a dense marina filled with hundreds of boats arranged in a highly controlled layout. Rulland Grove itself is a quieter side of that system, and it functions as a transitional zone rather than a destination on its own. The trees and pathways here are not random, because they create a buffer between the movement of the city and the structured environment of the harbour. As you move closer to the water, the environment changes quickly, and the marina becomes a dominant feature. This is DuSable Harbor, and it is one of the largest harbours on Lake Michigan, designed to store and manage a high number of recreational vessels in a compact space. The layout of the docks is not just about fitting boats, it is about controlling movement. Each dock extends outwards in a grid pattern, which allows boats to enter, exit, and navigate without crossing paths in unpredictable ways. That structure becomes more important when you consider how many vessels are operating here, because without a controlled layout, congestion would build quickly. The marina works because every position and every pathway is defined. Protecting all of this is the breakwater system, which sits further out into the lake and acts as a barrier against wave energy. Lake Michigan can generate significant wave force, and without that protection the harbour would not be stable enough to operate safely. The breakwater absorbs and redirects that energy before it reaches the docks, which keeps water conditions relatively calm inside the marina. That is why the boats here remain stable even when conditions outside the harbour are much rougher. The Illinois Department of Natural Resources manages this system, and that adds another layer of control. This is not just open water, it is regulated environments where docking, movement, and access are all structured. At the same time, this area remains fully accessible to the public, which creates an overlap between operational infrastructure and recreational space. People can walk along the edge, observe the marina, and move through the park without interfering with how the harbour functions. The Lakefront Trail runs directly alongside this system, adding another layer of movement that operates independently from both the marina and the park. Cyclists and pedestrians pass through continuously, creating a flow that connects the space to a wider lakefront. What makes this location unique is how these layers operate together. The grove provides a natural buffer, the trail maintains continuous movement, and the harbour manages a dense concentration of boats, all within the same area. This is not accidental design, it is controlled integration. Each part has a defined role, and those roles allow the entire system to function without overlap or interference. That combination of natural space, engineered protection, and structured movement is what defines this section of a lakefront, because it shows how different systems can share the same space while operating independently.
Simulation terminated. Please comment, like and subscribe.